This conference will now be recorded.
Amit, are you getting the recordings? Amit, did you receive the recordings? Amit, can you hear me? Amit, can you hear me? Okay, you got the recordings? Okay, share me your WhatsApp, just do a WhatsApp to my mobile number or your email address. I need your email address. Soumya and Manu, I think you must be having the recordings. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Likit. So yeah. So share me your email address. So you will get your recordings. If you are okay to continue, then you can share your email address. How about your friend? Is he joining?
Yes, sir. His name is Samir. I think he's already joined.
His name is
Samir.
Samir. He will be joining.
I think he joined, sir. Samir, can you please respond?
No, he's not in.
There is somebody by name Samir, sir, in this.
Sir, that is Soumya, not.
No. Samir is also. I can see Samir.
Okay. Anyway, I just ask him to contact me after this call, so we will talk.
Okay, sir. Okay, yeah, sure.
No problem.
I'll text you my email ID, sir.
Yeah, just text me your email address, right? So you will get the recordings, right? I will inform respective people. Yeah. Okay. So far, we have talked about. So what is ServiceNow, right? So this is a fourth session. Right. So we talked about what is ServiceNow, why it is being used, and what is the architecture of a ServiceNow. Then we also talked about a list of the versions what we have, and we also talked about what is ITIL comes in. So yesterday we started talking about a concept of user life cycle management. Okay. So what is user? So a user life cycle management is also about talks about creating users, relating users, managing the users and their permissions. That's a point of user lifecycle management. So if you see the users in ServiceNow, all the users will stay in a table called, which table? What is the table name?
_user.
Sys_user. Sys_user. So sys_user is a table called there. That's where our user information will be stays. Whichever the user that we will be creating, all these users will be in the sys_user. Okay. Now, so we did created a user yesterday, right? We did created a user yesterday, and the user name was John Newton, right? John Newton. Okay. So let's go ahead and look into that user now. Okay, now the user will be what are the various ways that we can access user table? So this is we called as a left navigation, right? In the left navigation, I can go into user and come down here. Once I'm under system security, I will have users. Under system security application menu, I will have users. If I click on that, I will have user table. If I know the table name, then sys underscore user dot list to populate the users in the same time. Okay. If I wanted to create, open the table in a different tab, it is uppercase list to open this in a different tab. Okay. Now, if you wanted to know which table you are in, so this is where you actually find out. In the link, if you see sys underscore user is the table that you are in, or you can also go to configure and hit on table. And this is where you will see the user table here. Okay, this is where you see the table name. If you see that, it will take you into the name where what is this sys underscore user. Okay. Now, what we have done yesterday, we have created a user. Let's go and check the user what we created. List, right? So this will be this view. This is a view called list view. Okay, list view, right? This is a view called list view. This view can be completely customizable. Okay, when I say completely customizable, if you see the gear icon here, okay, this gear icon, if you click on it, you will see user ID, name, email, active, created, updated, right? User ID, name, email, active, created, updated. If you want, active should be disabled. I don't want active to be part of this. Then just click on it and move this into the next this thing. This area will be called as, this box will be called as a slush bucket. This box will be called as a slush bucket. Okay, so now you remove the active one and you added a zip postal code. Okay, you adding the zip postal code, you can add it. Okay, once you added it, then you can OK. Right, you see zip postal code came into the picture and active was removed from the list. Okay, now this is how we personalize the list. Okay, if you wanted to open a record, you can create a, you can click on here. This will take you into the page where the user record. No, I don't want it to open the complete record, but I wanted to see some information about the user record. Click on the exclamatory mark. Okay, so you will see some data here, able tutor, what is this about. So it will not open the record, but it will give you a idea of what it is. Okay, so this area will be called as a filter. This is called a filter. If you click on this filter, okay, if you click on this filter, you can always set up your own filters. What is your filter name? So something like active is true. Active is true, right? And then you run it. Right? This is a list of people will be visible. Or if you want, you can have multiple conditions. And location will be, okay, location will be something, right? Something, you know, Charles tweet or something. If you hit on run, there is no users here, right? So like this, you can populate the number of users and filter out the users. Okay, and this is recently introduced into the tips of improving your queries, right? What do you want to see? You can ask them, like, you know, it's kind of a chat bot, right? So user or something like, you know, able tutor, just user ID, click on it, right? And it will ask, it will give you the user IDs of this. Okay, something like this. So that is called as a list layout, right? This is a list layout, right? So how many users we have? 618. out of which we are seeing 20 users per page, right? 20 users per page here. Okay. Now, right, and this is the drop down. This is the drop down that you can perform some actions like selecting all. You want to delete it, just delete it, and do some activities here. That is the choice option, right? Now let's go ahead and sort by updated. If I sort by updated, I have created a user yesterday. That user name is John, right? Sort by updated 2021 5 2026. I have created a user, and this is my user I've created. Open this user. Okay, what we have done. So first name is John, last name is Newton, and his name is administrative assistant. And the for user ID will be the combination of first letter and entire last name. First letter of the first name and entire last name. That's we did. And we also logged it as the user ID. Okay, we know what is passwords we said, what is logged out, what is web services and all. Okay. Now, if you come down on the user form, this will be called as a form, right? This will be called as a form. What is form? Form is a collection of fields. Okay, collection of fields. So there are bunch of fields that we are seeing here, and these first thing will be called as a form. Okay, and come down. If you see this area will be called as a related list. Okay, this area will be called as a related list. This related list is entirely customizable. Okay, you can customize this related list. How I can customize? If you click on here, right click on here, click on configure, you will see option called related list. Click on the related list. It will take you in the page there, right? So now again the slash bucket come in, right? So what are we seeing so far? We are seeing entitlement custom table, roles, groups, delegates, users, right? I don't want the subscription. There's nothing I can do here, and I don't want entitled custom table user. These two things I don't want, right? So then select both by setting up by clicking the control and move this to your right hand panel. Okay, your right hand panel, and then save. When you save it, what happens if you come down, you see the rest of the groups, the rest of the tabs has been removed. Rest of the tabs has been removed. So rest of the tabs has been removed now, right? So we'll start from the delegates. Before we move into the groups or roles, we'll talk about delegates. Okay, what is delegates? Let's assume this guy is a CIO of organization. This guy is a CIO of organization or CTO of the organization, right? So now, if he goes on a vacation, okay, let's assume if this person goes on a vacation and he need to delegate his work to somebody else, his personal assistant or PA or somebody, right? In my absence, if anything that comes to you, please take care about it. Okay, so that is called delegate. Delegation is something delegating your work to somebody in your absence. Okay, so now John Newton is a CTO, and let's assume he is going on a vacation. Then he wanted to delegate his work to somebody. How we will do that is he will create a request with our team, with ServiceNow team. Please delegate all my ServiceNow related activities to Miss ABC. Okay, so how will I do that? Then I will go, come down, open the user profile, click on the new under the delegates, click on new. Right? Who you are going to delegate this work? I'm going to delegate this work to user called Savna, right? So user called Savna. So at what time to what time that you are going to delegate this work? I'm going to work to delegate this to from. So this time from today Okay, so now I can change the time here, date and time here. This is the calendar. This is the calendar, and you can go ahead and change the time here. So how do you change it? So it's like 2021. Okay, 2021, and for 8 August, something like 02. Okay, so till this time, this person will be going on vacation, and all his work to assign to delegate. What specific works will be assigned to him to Savna approvals? Any approval that goes to John Newton will go to Savna. Any assignments that goes to John Newton will go to Savna. All the notifications will go to Savna, and all the meeting invitations to Savna. Okay. So if you want, you can untake it, and so that in a respective category will not be delivered. Right? And hit on submit. Right. So now what happens, as on in the absence of John Newton, all these things to go to, all these approval, assignments, notifications, meeting invitation go to Savna from so and so time to and so and so time. Right. That is the concept of a delegation. Right. So now if you wanted to remove the delegation, what do you do? Just click on this and select the choice option here, the drop down, and go ahead and just straight away delete. Okay, simply delete it. Okay? So that it will be, the item will be deleted, the delegation will be deleted. Okay, so that's one thing about the delegation. Now moving on to the roles. Any questions on delegates before I move on to roles? Okay, very good. Okay, so now moving on to the next phase, right? Moving on to the next thing, which is roles, right? So let me log in as roles. Before I log in as roles, remember each application menu and each module, okay, will be restricted using roles, right? We call it as RBAC. What is RBAC? Role based access control. Okay, role based access control. Okay, each application menu and each module will be restricted using roles. So that, what does that means? That means it, you see, as an administrator, I can access n number of applications here, right? I can access anything here, right? I can access anything. But if I go to John Newton will not be able to access anything because he is not an admin. If you are not an admin, you are not entitled to access all the applications, but you are entitled to have access to the applications what you entitled to have. Okay, what you need to have, what you supposed to have. Okay, so for example, every application, for every application you see will be restricted. There is a specific role that will be restricted, right? So that we see for this particular application, if somebody need access to this particular application, he should be part of this one. He need to be assigned with this role, else he will not be able to access this, right? So in every application in ServiceNow, there will be a role that is assigned there. So that role will restrict the permissions. No, you are not supposed to access this, but you don't have access to this. In order to have access to this, go request and somebody will add the respective role. Okay? Each application menu and module will be restricted using a roles. Let me show it to you directly. Right, so Okay. Now what happened? John Newton has logged in. So let's see if you go to John Newton, does he assigned with any sort of roles here? No records to display. That means he have not assigned with any roles here. But if you log in as John Newton, if you see this, he have access to self-service, he have access to password reset, connect, live feed, and target communications. How is that being happening? Right? People will ask you. So you said there is each and every application menu is restricted with the roles, and people whoever have that role can only be access that application menu. But if you see this John Newton have not been assigned with any roles. How is he accessing these? How is he accessing these applications? Right? Let's go ahead and do a deep dig on this. Right? So these things will be called as application menus. Correct? So now as an administrator, what I will do, I will go to left navigation and type APPLICTION application menus. Okay, application menus, right? So let's understand more about it. How this self-service can be accessible for John Newton, where he have not been assigned with any other roles, right? So this is the list of application menus we have available here. Okay, so now in the search, click on star or hashtag, type self and enter. You will see the self-service is assigned. Open here, right? Open the self-service. If you open the self-service, what role the self-service have? Nothing. It is empty. That means anybody can access this particular application, right? Anybody can access this application. For example, now it is free. Now it is open for everybody. John Newton is wisely accessing this solution application. So let me add a role here. Just click on the pencil bar and add some role. Some rule, anything random role I just added for the testing and hit on save. Okay, now go back and reload the page. Do you see a self-service here? It's gone, right? So now how will John Newton will be able to access that self-service? You need to have an admin role. In order for John Newton to access self-service, admin role is mandatory, right? So I'm going to remove this. So as an admin, it's not a good thing to have, but what I can show you, activity creator, right? So let me go ahead, right, and do this, right? So John Newton is not able to access the self-service at the moment because this self-service is being restricted with a role called activity creator. So now I realized, okay, self-service is restricted with the activity creator. If John Newton need access to self-service, I need to add this role to John Newton, right? Copy this role, go to John Newton, open this. Okay, so go to these roles, okay, these roles, and hit on edit. Paste the role whatever you see just saw there, right? Activity creator. Move this to from right to left and save. Okay, so now John Newton is assigned with the activity creator role. Fair enough. Now let's go ahead and log out. Okay. You see now the self-service has been assigned to him, right? So that's a role, right? A role is nothing but, so a role is always restrict permissions, right? The role is always restrict permissions. So in order to get your permission, you need to make sure that you are assigned with the respective role, right? This is simple use case, right? So we're not learning much things here, right? So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to remove this user access from the table. Okay, user access from the table, and same goes with the activity creator. I will change it to normal, right? It's because self-service should be open to everyone, right? Fair enough. Same. Now let's talk about this different type of use cases. Okay, so now I have a use case, right? My use case, my customer come in, please provide John Newton to please provide access to incident application menu. Incident application menu only. Okay, to John, please provide access to incident application menu only. Okay, incident application menu to John Newton. So you need only incident application menu access. Okay, only incident application menu access to John Newton, right? So how we will do this, right? Can somebody tell me how can I provide access to incident application menu to John Newton now? Okay, wake up, good morning.
An incident role should be assigned,
Right, a role to be assigned to
uh, this particular user, John Newton. So that's when he will be able
that
to.
particular user. Very good, you're absolutely right, right? So can I have a step-by-step process, please? So what is the first thing that I need to do?
Not recalling. Self-service. Self-service.
User.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah, let me tell you, right?
yeah.
Incident is an application menu. Incident is an application menu. Okay, something like you see this. Incident is a application menu, right? This is an application menu. I need John Newton to access this application menu. How can we do that?
First, we need to check in that incident to be which role it is assigned, and we need to add.
Perfect. Perfect. How do I check in self-service
You
case?
have to
What will
search
be?
sorry, you have to search incident. Then you can click on that edit menu on that incident on top. No,
All
not
right.
the
This
below.
is one thing. This is one thing, right? And you can open this. That's what you're saying.
Go to
Right? This is one thing.
service response.
Right. So then I can also what in the self-service case, what we have done, we went to application menu. Yeah. Application menu. Search for what? Incident. Right. Search for incident. And now we saw open the incident. What is the role this particular incident have? How many roles it has? It has 2 roles. Right?
AIL.
So if you feel this is really weird, why a person need to go to application menu and look for the application? That's really a pain, right? So the easiest navigation is if you go to incident here, you see this, there is a pencil bar you see here. See this? Right? If you see the incident, there is a pencil bar. You're able to see this? If you click on the pencil bar, it will also take you into the same place. Right? Now, incident application menu have how many roles assigned with? 2 roles. Interviewer will ask you, hey, I have an application menu which I have more than 1 role. So which role that I need to provide access, which role I need to add to end user in order to grant access to them? Remember, it will always be or condition, not and condition. right? It's not an and condition. So what does it mean? If I have role 1, role 2, role 3, you can add any of the role, this role or this role or this role. You don't need to add all the roles. Any one role will provide access, right? Either role 1, role 2 or role 3. Makes sense? So in this case, we have 2 roles, right? So that means SN incident read will also provide access to incident application menu. ITIL will also provide access to incident application menu. Correct? ITIL will also provide access to incident application. So now we have decided, okay, there are 2 roles that will provide access. I will choose ITIL. I will choose ITIL. So I copied this, then went to John Newton. Open John Newton. Come down. Hit on roles. Under edit. ITIL. ITIL. Right? How many roles I'm adding now? Only 1 role. Save now. Now see what happens. How many roles that have been added? Bunch of roles that have been added. I will tell you why then. Just forget about this at the moment. And I'm going to save it. Perfect. Now let's go to John Newton. Let's go to John Newton and log sign off. J Newton. Okay, J Newton. Now go to incident. Incident is coming. But along with the incidents, what else we had? Problem, change, configuration, password reset, service catalog, reports, connect, live feed, ABC, lot of things that have been added. There will be a lot that has been added. But what is our use case? Our use case is very specific. Provide access to only incident application menu. Yeah, he is very specific on his requirement. Provide access to only incident application menu, and we're not extra access. So if you just leave this person like this over a period on your quarterly or bi-monthly, there will be an audit happens on this. Your integration, your IT compliance or governance team, they come, they will verify the access. They will see they requested for only internet application menu, but why this person got access to problem change, etc., etc., etc. So that is, this will become a non-compliance, and people will ask you, why did you provide this access? Okay. So for that, how can I sort this assignment? Okay, then I realized, oh, I'm sorry. My intention is to not to provide access to all the things. So I immediately realized I'm going to remove this ITL rule. Right? Before I remove ITL rule, I wanted to show you something very important. Right? How does your auditor identify how is a role assigned to end user? You know what I mean? How is your auditor identify how is the role is being assigned to your end user? How? There is a concept called inheritance map. Inheritance map, right? Will tell you this inheritance map tell you inheritance map will tell you what role assigned to whom by which way, by how, by how. Okay. So confused, huh? So let me show you something here, right? For example, if you see this John Newton profile, right? Come down, right? If in case your auditor wanted to know how is this template read global add-in how is this template read global added to John Newton? And how is this going to be happen? How is it going to identify this? If you click on this gear icon, we see an inheritance map here, right? Just move it here. Right? Inheritance map added here. Inheritance map added here, right? So this is the role that we wanted to understand. How is this role added to John Newton? That's a whole idea, right? So what we're going to do, we need to click on this role inheritance map. Oops. Something wrong? Wait. Okay. So now if you see this, if I click on the role inheritance map, it is showing me something here. You see this? There's a graph that has been showing to us. What is this graph tells? Right? So if you see this, John Newton is added to ITIL role. ITIL role have a child role called agent workspace user. Agent workspace user also have a child role called template read global. Right? Template read global is not added to John Newton directly. Template read global is part of agent workspace user. Agent workspace user is part of ITIL, and somebody added ITIL to John. Okay, so that's how it is added. So it will give you a clear picture on how is that role is assigned to individual. This concept will be called as inheritance map. Inheritance map. This is important. Okay? Just close this off. Now, right? So let's go back to our discussion here. So I realized, okay, my intention is not to provide access to John Newton or so on so thing. So let me go ahead and remove the access. Remove the access. Click on John Newton. Come down, and here I'm going to click on this ITIL role and come down. Then do not just click on remove user access here. Remember, do not do this. Open this role in a new tab and delete it. Do not do this. Why? Because you are not removing the role from the user profile. You are deleting the role from user role table, right? You are removing the role from user role table, right? So always remember to do this. You know, the best practice is to select ITIL, come down, remove user access from the table, right? Just remove the user access. Confirm. All the access is removed now. All the access is removed now. Fair enough, right? Now let's go back and check for the John Newton profile. You have to relog in. Now I logged in. See what access he will have? He'll have nothing here. So what happened to the use case now? What happened to our use case? Right? Our use case is again still remain same. We tried adding an ITL rule that actually didn't work. So then how we can achieve this role, right? So remember, whenever you are going to assign a role to individual, the very first thing, the ground rule that you guys need to follow, go to roles. Under system security, go to roles. Look for the role what you're going to add. Right here. Click on this role. This is clearly telling you it can perform standard actions for ITL help desk technician, and this is the out of the box technician role can open, update, close incident, problem changes, and config management. And if you come down little bit here, it contains 15 roles here, right? That means this is the parent role, and this have 15 child roles added here, right? So that means if you add this ITIL, there will be 15 roles that also getting added along with this. Now, if you move on to the next tab, which is in applications with role, right? So if you add ITIL to somebody, he will get access to Google Maps, My Work, on-call scheduling, service test, incident, problem, change, configuration, reports, dependencies, views, etc. He will get access to 16 application menus, and he'll also get access to 56 modules. Right? He'll also get access to 56 modules. So this is not our cup of coffee then. So if the use case is to add only incident role, this is not the role that I can add it to end user, correct? So then I will talk to my internal team members, ask them, hey dude, do you know any role that will dedicatedly provide access to the incident? People says if they have anything, they will tell you. If not, then what you need to do to achieve this use case, go to roles, right? Click on this roles. Listen to me carefully. New role, I'm creating a new role. My role name is incident only. There is no format to create a role. You can create a role and anything, but make sure it makes sense, right? So you can't just create a no role called Sachin Tendulkar. That doesn't make any sense, right? So you need to make sure that the role what you're creating is actually it makes sense, right? So description: this role will provide access to only incident application menu. Submit. Now what happened? There is a role that I've created here, right? So there is a role that I've created here. So go to gear icon and updated. Just move by updated here. Okay. Updated. Incident only. Yeah. When you cleared incident only, open this and see this what happened, right? If you come down, how many roles it contains? 0. How many applications it will provide access to? Nothing. How many modules it can provide access to? Nothing. So that means this is just an object for us. This is just an object which has no permissions at the moment. Which has no permissions at the moment, right? So now, how am I going to leverage this role is the matter now, right? So what am I going to do? I'll go to incident, click on the pencil bar. Along with this ITL and SN underscore read, I am also going to add my role, which is incident only, right? So now this ITL will provide access to incident, but it will provide some extra access. We didn't check the SN underscore read, fine, let it be. But incident only, see now, I ordered incident only. Now click on save, go to roles, go to roles, incident only. Just now it is 0. Now if you see this applications with the role, what it can provide access to now? Incident, because this role is added to incident application menu, right? This role is added to incident application menu, and that's why it is providing you, it is showing you, okay, if you add this role, the person whoever added this role, he will access incident application menu, right? Now hit on save. Fair enough. Fair enough. Right? So what am I going to do now? I'm going to add this incident only. Right? Incident only to John Newton. Go to John Newton profile. Edit. Incident only. Save. Right? Only one role. Save. Go to John Newton now. Log out. J Newton. Only incident. Right? Only incident now. Only incident has been provided to him. Okay. So that's about how we play around with the rules. How we play around with the rules. Any questions? Yes. No. All right. Nothing. Okay. Summaries of findings. Okay. Any other questions?
No, Vijay.
Okay.
Hello.
Let's go.
Uh,
Yeah.
See, in that there was some subscriptions, right? When we created that role, what is it?
Subscriptions is for the knowledge base. That's part of an ITOM.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Sir, is it the same process into real time, sir?
Yes. I'll tell you what is in the real time. What happens is, let's say Samir is a ServiceNow developer or administrator. Okay, you will be in a team. I am a regular some team. Okay, some SAP team or something. Okay, I will create a request for your team saying I need access to incident application menu. Okay, and then that ticket will come to you and you will start working on it, and you will make sure that you will incident application menu access is provided to me, and you will close your incident. Right? Does it answer your question, Samir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very good. Okay. Okay. So then we'll talk about on the roles. There will be another thing that I want to tell you. Right? Though you are an administrator, what role I have? I'm an administrator, right? I am an administrator and I have admin role, so I can do anything. So that means people whoever have admin role that can do anything? No, right? There is a role called elevated privilege role that is called security underscore admin. Interviewer will ask you, what is the elevated privilege role? There is a role called security underscore admin. This role is a top level role. Okay, but this role is though you have been assigned with this role, you will not be able to access it until you activate it. How do you activate it? Go to system administrator, elevate roles, and see this security underscore. Then click on OK. Right? And if you see this, there is an unlock symbol that happens here. Right? Remember, this role is a session specific. You activated this role and you log off, you log in again, this role will be stopped working. You need to activate it again. So what is the significance of this role? What is this role capable of doing things? Right? So if you wanted to write ACLs, access control list, You must need to enable this role. You can't write ACLs without elevating your permission to security underscore admin role. Yeah, without your elevating your permissions to security underscore admin, you can't write access control list. We will talk about ACLs as we move forward, right? So from an interview perspective, what is the elevated privilege role out of the box is security underscore admin. Okay, security underscore admin. We will talk about it. Okay, that's great about the rules, right? Any questions before we wrap up?
Just one question. Uh, how do we define like how many user licenses we have which we can create? Like, or is there any limit?
That your business analyst will decide. When you made a purchase of ServiceNow, your business analyst will purchase how
So
many
it is
fulfiller
based on the
licenses,
license, right? Which we get.
yeah, how many fulfiller licenses, and how many technician, how many approver licenses you have. Based on that,
Okay.
you will. The number of users is something that directory services you're talking about, or number of persons who log into ServiceNow.
Not the number of people who can log in. Like there will be a limit, right? In service now, in this current license, I can only create 100 users, or only 100 users. Service now users can be created.
No.
Whether it be through LDAP or
Wait. The limitation will be, the licensing model will be the number of person who will be logging into ServiceNow. This is the SaaS application, right? Number
okay.
of persons who will be logging into ServiceNow. The limitation will not be the user. The limitation will be with the tables. How many
Okay.
custom tables that you can create? If you go more than you have been assigned with, let's say you have been given with 30 custom tables, you can create as part of your plan, ServiceNow plan. But if you are creating more than 30 tables, then you will get a bill, right?
Okay.
There will be like 200 fields, but if you're creating 50 more fields, you will get a bill. So it's as simple as it is. You will get a bill as you use it. Let's say you are electricity. In your electricity is the best example, right? You use it for what you consumed. Yeah.
Okay.
Out of the box, you will be given with some units in electricity. Like, till 120 units, you will get some 250 rupees bill. After that, if you increase your units of power, electricity, you will get a bill. As simple as it is. Yeah.
Okay.
There will be
So
certain
the
tables, fields that will be allocated to you. If you increase the usage, then you will get a bill. When I say your organization will be charged. Their finance
so
team.
it is not a user-based billing model. That it's something
No.
else.
No.
Okay.
Again, when I say user-based billing, number of logins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I will purchase when let's say I'm reaching out to ServiceNow. Hey, I wanted to give you a service now. I wanted to purchase ServiceNow. People first question will ask you how many licenses you need. How many technician licenses? How many approver licenses? So when I say technician approver, these are the person who will use ServiceNow, log in ServiceNow, who will log into ServiceNow as a technician, as a approver. But as an end user, there is no limit. You can create a
Okay.
URL app. Like, I have a 50,000 user company and I can import them. That's not a big deal.
Okay. So okay, got it. So if I want to add as a technician or approval, I'll have a limit, but the end user we won't have, right?
No, end user will not have. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Simple.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? All right then. Yeah. See you then. So we'll meet tomorrow, same time. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.